as you look inside a wet and wild Lumen Field.
Tonight we finish off Week 6 with a good Monday nighter between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks.
Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Falcons in this matchup. They're the best team in the NFL as far as running the football goes, but they're in for a stern test here.
Yeah, that defense that they're going up against, they're no slouch either. One of the top 5 units in the league. I think this game could boil down to stopping the big play. This offense can certainly hit some home runs, and if they hit on a couple here, it might be all they need to win the game.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports.
From the 10. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time.
Leading him out from Texas A&M at quarterback, Kellen Mond.
And when Kellen Mond left College Station, he held most of Texas A&M's passing records, total yards, passing yards, touchdowns, you name it. And then he went to the NFL draft in 2021 on the heels of being the 2021 Senior Bowl MVP, and the Vikings took him in the 3rd round that year. NFL arm strength at his best when he loosens up in the pocket and lets his talents flow.
They start with a give to counter, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's counter.
And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks. And plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Now Mond. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming.
The previous play is under review.
The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Returnable for Lockett. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. It's a nifty return of 29 yards, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive, and his pass incomplete.
I don't see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. He'll look to throw.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's caught. But he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up fourth.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, here's Mon.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
Back to the air, Mon. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 39,
Mon.
looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Drake London, his intended target.
And it's third down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
That's caught left side to tight end Pitts.
But he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. Fourth down.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
On fourth down, they'll try and run for it. Oh, he's got some breathing room.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on fourth down. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Drake London, the intended receiver there.
But it's going to be second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right, they did something to disrupt that timing.
He's going to keep this again. Mon fumbles it, and the Seahawks have picked it up.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons 31. Going an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on third and just a yard.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try for the first with Walker.
It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, they started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Being chased out left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker.
And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a first down. On the counter, it's Connor. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On second, here's Algier.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
On first down, here's Mon. Got a man, it's De'Ami Brown, complete. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short game.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
They run behind center with Connor. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
Give to Algier from the shotgun.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Tyler Algier with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Falcons take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
That's what I love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's
pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Lorenzo Carter, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here, as they've got it facing a second and long situation. Looking to throw. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. So third down, and the Falcons going with a dime. 6 defensive backs. Back to throw here. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Now we're going to get a timeout here, as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Nyheim Hines now out of his end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime and make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series, so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And he'll send the tight end in motion here. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. If the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. On 1st and 10, it's Algier until about the 23.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Here's Algier again on 2nd down, and he can muster only a couple here to the 24. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
That's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And caught by London. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection.
Let's go.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's Mon. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away from just something.
It's a gain of 3, and it gets him to 4. No surprise this offense would be able to convert. They're currently second in the league in first downs, and they pick up one here.
Yeah, not a stat that we talk about a heck of a lot, but it's a vital one, and in this case, it's really vital because what does it do? Keeps their defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest.
Come on, set. Hey, continue.
Right back to Connor here on first. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory.
52 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now a carry for Algier headed right.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
From the gun, a give to Connor. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll send the slot in motion left. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now.
Mon. And this will be swung out here for Connor.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 20-yard line. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Algier going straight ahead. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Connor up the middle. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Here we go.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down.
Mond looks to throw.
And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll try and run for it. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
Down.
Mond going to throw it.
This is caught. Touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Falcons go 98 yards and finish it off in the end zone. The CD, you know he's got great options at wide receiver, tight end, but there he looks to the backfield, and it results in a touchdown.
I love how you laid that out. So many options. You made me forget about some of the ones that you should be covering. And they made them pay with that one, didn't they? You forget about the guys in the backfield? They're eligible, too.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now 14-0.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
The Seattle now ready. Field.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And that is incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
And this returnable for Hines.
A big kick that time, 52 yards.
And it will be Falcon football.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books. But it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point.
Flying in to pick up that sack, Jordan Brooks. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction. And that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them. And now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. And a white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where it was the visiting Jets who were able to get the road victory. Zach Wilson, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we'll head down to the Meadowlands to check on the Giants at home in MetLife Stadium. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. Trevor Lawrence, excellent in the victory as his guys run their mark to 4-2 on the year. Finally, let's get out to Southern Nevada and see what's happening with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. Josh Jacobs, well over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run as well. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Falcons. And a big part of their success on the scoreboard is their success in the running game. Over 100 yards as a team in those first 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be. But halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
Well, there wasn't much of a window there, Charles. Had to deal with a couple of defenders, but able to find his big tight end.
And, partner, we know double coverage is a challenge for any player to try to defeat. But maybe it's a little easier if you're one of those big tight ends because you have a size advantage on just about anyone trying to cover you, and you use your body to create some space.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
Throw out wide to Walker. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. So no gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now.
Let's go now, let's go. That's right, baby. Play it to the whistle. Let's roll. That's what it is. That's what it is. Set, ready. Strike. Check, strike. Ready.
The drive will start with Connor.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Ultra. Let's go, start.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
3rd down from the gun. It's Amon. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the 1st down.
Ready. Check right. Smith red. Check man.
On the handoff, Connor. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's a handoff to Connor. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by the Seahawks defense. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll dump this one off to Connor. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. And this drive will start in enemy territory as that gets out of bounds on this side of the 50.
Atlanta regains possession of the football.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
On 1st down, Connor going to be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 38.
70 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
Algier will try to pick it up.
And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This from 54 yards away. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's got a man. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And the Falcons grab it. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Atlanta prepped and ready for its next possession.
Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Brought down by Ed Oliver.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
On the counter, it's Connor. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Down.
Mon to the air on 1st and 10.
And his throw here is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll run for it with Algier.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
4th down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo.
On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will extend their lead even further.
After that last sequence, they're sitting pretty comfortably. They force the fumble, get the field goal, and expand on that lead here in the second half.
And don't expect them to rest on their laurels after that kick either. They'll keep their effort up until the final whistle. They don't consider any lead safe.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
That'll give them 8 that time, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. He'll drop to throw. He's going to air one out. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's 2nd and 9.
They'll set up to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes, and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way or pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Fifth catch of the game for him there. Yeah,
and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Returning right back to Lockett. And the Seahawks are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. And that catch, he just hit number 800 in his NFL career.
And just think, that puts you in top 35 range all time in the NFL in terms of number of catches. One significant guy in that number, Shannon Sharp, who was a tight end. That's big-time play right there.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Noah Fant from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays.
And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way. So it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming, and I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
One blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker, 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down. On second down, it's Walker. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and they will not cut into that 10-point lead. And that one, just an absolute killer. A chance to get this back within 1 score.
All hope not gone yet, but at the same time, you're exactly right. They needed to get back within 1 score and have a motivated defense take the field in order to get it back for them for one last big drive.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw.
A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game. It has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. First down now, but the clock continues to move. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
He hits his target, Lockett. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 12-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Throw out wide to Walker.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw again. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So that one, a 13-play drive in total. The clock showing 19 seconds to go.
And it was Ken Walker who finished things off with a touchdown catch.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A couple more minutes, and maybe the outcome of this one, Charles, would have been different. But ultimately, time runs out on the comeback, so it falls short. And they hold on to win this by just one possession.
Not the fourth quarter they wanted, but they did earn the win, and they'll be happy about that, and they should be. Now they're going to go back to practice, see what they can do to prevent a future lead from slipping away like this one was.
So for the Falcons, they pick up win number 4 on the campaign as they emerge victorious here. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Seattle, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys.